Well, I was certainly pleased with the way our team came out and played, especially in the second half. I think we did a good job for the entire game offensively in the game. I think we controlled the line of scrimmage. We ran the ball effectively. Greg did a very good job of taking what they gave him, was accurate, made good decisions. 18 for 24 is pretty good, but 14 in a row or whatever he hit at one time is outstanding. And, some guys stepped up today. Mike McCoy had a 100-yard-plus day after Julio went down, and most of what he caught was what we had planned to throw to number 8. But he did an outstanding job in there. Trent Richardson got more of an opportunity in this game, which we knew he would. With Mark had been sick all week, but Mark played well in the game as well. Roy got an ankle sprain early in the game and couldn't continue to play. And Trent did a great job in there. I think defensively we played a lot better in the second half. Special teams did a good job in the game except for kickoff coverage, and we need to continue to work on that and get that fixed. 2 weeks in a row where you give up a kickoff return for a touchdown, and then we do the alternative kicks and give up field position. So that's something that we need to improve on. But I really wasn't happy with the energy and enthusiasm our team came out and played with in the first half. The focus in games like this is to improve, and FIU's players played well in the game. They played hard. I have a tremendous amount of respect for the competitive spirit that they have, and Mario's building a good program there, and they really play like a true bunch of great competitive young people, and I have a lot of respect for that. And they played hard in the game today, and they took it right to us, and I don't think our guys, came out with the kind of energy and enthusiasm and intensity that we need to set the tone, and we allowed them to stay in the game with some mistakes that we made and some things that we didn't do correctly. Giving up a big play on 3rd and long when they got the ball on the 2-yard line, changes field position, and got a pass interference that was a big play on the 3rd, I think it was 2nd and long. So there's a lot of things we need to correct. There's a lot of things that we can correct and get better. We got a lot of players out there today. I do think that Damian Square got a knee injury that is probably serious. We don't know yet until they do an MRI, but we're pretty sure that he probably has a knee injury that's going to require surgery. So, questions?
2 questions, Coach. You talked about the energy and enthusiasm that they didn't have in the first half, and it seemed like last week you sent a clear message to the media and to the public and also to your team about staying up for a so-called lesser opponent. What do you do, Coach, to impart that on them for the next time, for next week?
Well, I don't think it's about who you play. I think it's about who you are. And it's what I said to them in the locker room after the game. I said, guys, if you're a true competitor and you want to be a great player and you're a true champion and you're ever going to have a chance to win a championship, you got to play to your best level all the time. And I think a lot of the great players, if you ever listen to Michael Jordan talk or Tiger Woods or, those kind of people, they want to be the best they can be because it's who they are. And that's really the kind of attitude that we want on our team. That's the way we want our team to play. And that's the way we want them to respond to every challenge. And I thought they did a good job in the second half, but I don't think there's any reason that we shouldn't be that way, to start fast and finish strong in every game that we play.
Can you talk about some of the specific adjustments you made at the half?
Well, we played more zone in the second half on defense. Probably was the biggest thing that we did. We play a lot of pattern match man stuff, and they were running crossers and pick routes, which really wasn't their deal coming into the game. They ran a lot of vertical patterns and tried to throw the ball down the field. And we gave up a couple of those plays, so we started playing a little bit more zone, and quarterback held the ball a little bit more, and we got a little more pressure on them, and I think it affected them.
Coach, I thought their punter was a tremendous weapon for them in helping change field position, but I thought Javier, particularly in the second half, neutralized that to a certain degree. Can you talk about that?
Well, I think it was, the guy did do a good job of punting the ball and was a very good punter, and we feel like we have a weapon in Javi, and we think it's important that every game we figure out ways that we can make punt return be a positive for us. And I think the 2 or 3 punt returns that we had in the second half certainly changed the field position and was, critical to, us being able to get ahead in the game and score some points to separate a little bit. So he did a great job, but I think the return team did a real good job. We had a couple others that we might have hit. You got to be able to take care of the gunners, though, and Dre Kirkpatrick did a really good job doing that, except for the one time, and got to continue to try to improve so that can be a weapon for us all the time, and it certainly was in the second half.
Coach, 5 sacks for your defense tonight, 10 for the year now. Can you talk about the way they were able to get after the quarterback?
Well, I thought in the first half we didn't do as good a job of affecting the quarterback as we'd like, and we did less pressuring in this game. A couple pressures they caught us in. He checked to the jailbreak screen, which I knew it was coming when he went like this, but we didn't figure it out quite fast enough. But so most of what we did today was more with the 4-man rush, which is good, because if you can affect the quarterback with a 4-man rush, then you're going to be able to play more effective pass defense and probably not give up as many big plays. So in a couple of the big plays that we gave up today, we were trying to pressure with 5 and play man-to-man, and we got picked and didn't work out too well. But I'm really pleased with the improvement that we made in pass rush. Square was one of the guys that played a lot tonight that is a pretty decent pass rusher and can finish on the quarterback. Marcel Darius has done a really good job. Dante really helps us in that regard as well. Lorenzo Washington is athletic. Brandon Dederick will get back, next week. He could have played tonight, but he didn't practice because he had a death in the family and missed several days of practice, and we didn't feel comfortable if he didn't make progress in practice, especially coming off his injuries, that it was in the best interest to play. And he warmed up and said he could play, but I said we'd only use him in an emergency, and that emergency didn't occur. So hopefully we'll have him 100%, which will help our front as well.
Coach, I'm sorry if you've addressed this already, but what was the nature of Julio's injury?
He has a bruised knee.
Bruised knee, so nothing too serious. You just didn't want to chance it.
I'm not the doctor, and I'm sure we'll do every test that we can do to make sure he's okay. But on the little reverse that he ran, he got just hit right on the knee, so kind of the kneecap. So he has a bruised knee, and we'll probably do everything that we can to check him out, make sure he's okay and doesn't have any other issues. And I don't know what the prognosis is for when he'll be able to come back, but we'll probably find that out tomorrow.
Coach, we saw less of the Wildcat tonight. Was that just a matchup issue?
No, not really. We were running the ball effectively in our regular formations, and we didn't feel like we needed to use it to overload them. So it was in the game plan. We planned on using it. It's just one of those things that didn't get dialed up much. I think we did it once or twice in the first half, and we're running the ball pretty effectively, so didn't feel like we needed to get to it.
Coach, it looks like they finished with 1 net rushing yard, and I know the sacks figure into that, but I think their backs got about 30 yards and a little more than a yard a carry. Can you just talk about the run defense through 2 games for this team?
Well, we've done a pretty good job, except for one big play run that came out of us, which was a bust in the front, slanting the wrong way last week against Virginia Tech. And, we're big and we're physical, and I think stopping the run is really important in controlling the line of scrimmage. And we've done a pretty good job of that to this point. And I think it's important that we do that so that we can create the right down and distance situations. And hopefully we'll be able to continue to improve in that area. But when you're spread out like we were tonight most of the time, and we didn't always play an extra guy in the box, especially in the second half. So we stopped the run with the 4 down and the 2 backers, and that's it. And I think that's even more significant because it lets you play more coverage, which we gave up a couple, big play passes in the beginning of the game. So I think that was a real key in the game that we didn't have to play an 8-man front to stop the run.
Last one right here. Coach, I spent a lot of time watching Cody tonight. He seemed like he had a lot more energy. Are you more comfortable having him in passing situations now?
Well, he's sitting with me on the bus now everywhere we go, whether it was the movie last night or wherever, you know. And I used to have that whole front seat to myself. And according to him, he would not fit in that seat last year. So that's the reason that he's sitting there. But he's doing a little begging, you know, while he's there too. You know, he's really nice to me. He wants to play more on third down. But he is in better shape. He is moving better, and he can rush the passer and push the pocket in the middle. So we're not for completely taking him out all the time, even though on third down, as long as we have more speed available to us to rush, we may not use them. But, hey, there was a lot of situations out there today where you knew they were going to pass, and he was in there, and he did a pretty good job of being active and pushing the pocket in the middle.